Kevin here. So what we're going to do today, we're just going to make burgers. So basically my YouTube channel and all these recipes and everything that I'm doing, it's all about just cooking food. So I'm not a chef, I'm nothing like that. What it is anybody can cook, and that's what I'm showing you guys. I'm just showing you guys the experiences that I've learned to make good food. There's different ways to do it. There's different levels of cooking and all that. All this is basic introduction stuff. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take something really simple, a burger. And then, you know, you want to make a good burger, you want to have people over, you want to do some barbecue and things like that, have good food. You know what? You're probably going to want to make a burger from scratch. That's what you're going to end up wanting to do. You don't want to get a frozen patty or something like that. That's simple and quick and that's easy, but this takes no time and you're just going to prep the patties and make them. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy yourself some ground beef. In the US, they call it 80-20. Here, it would be called a medium to lean mix. In Canada, if we have a choice to cook a burger, we'll go out to the grill and cook it. Even in the winter time, even when there's like 4 feet of snow, we'll go out to our barbecues to cook a burger. We won't cook them at the stovetop. Right now, I got some Moroccan chicken on here, just so you guys know. My wife did this up for me because I really like her Moroccan chicken. So I got that simmering in the background, so it smells really good here. But let's get to it. Show you how to make some burgers. First thing you're going to do is you're going to get yourself the ground beef and you're going to cut it up. So 80-20 or whatever you guys are going to use. Medium ground beef, lean ground beef if you want. You can add a little bit of bacon into it or something like that. I do about 120, 150 gram patties. So I use a scale to do mine on. Right? And then what you're going to want to do, you're going to want to cut it. So you're going to cut it along the grain. So the grain's this way of the ground beef when it came out. You're going to cut it across. The reason you're doing this is the tricks into making really good burgers. So that's what this is all about. This isn't about a recipe for burgers. This is about making a good burger. So then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take it and you're going to want to weigh it. And so you're going to want to get it down to about 150 grams, right? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the patty and you're going to have the grains are going this way. Then what you're going to want to do is kind of put it together and squish it down like that. You don't want to overwork your patties. So in these, I add nothing to it. It's just pure ground beef patty. That's it. And then what I do is I add my seasoning on top of it while I'm cooking it. You can do whatever. I made a burger seasoning that I put on top of my burgers. The bare minimum you're going to do is a little salt and pepper, which is, in my house, I call it chef spice. Other people call it chef spice, but just salt and pepper, and that's it. Basically, if you, McDonald's, they say they only put salt and pepper on their burgers. So then what you're going to do, you're going to squish them out. You can use a burger press, which I have a couple of them, but I prefer it this way. You get little crispy edges when you grill it. Take a piece of parchment paper down, and there's your patty, and that's it. You're just going to kind of press it down, and there's your patty. So you're just going to keep going through all this, and you're going to keep weighing them out, 150 grams each one until you get them all. And then we're going to get a big stack of patties going here, and I'll show you guys how to cook these. Okay, so we got all the patties made. So this is what they kind of turn out to look like. So that's a 150 gram patty. Don't know off ounces by hand. So there's nothing added in this. There's no fillers. There's nothing besides just quality ground beef. That's the way I like them. I find this turns out to be the best. When you squish them down, you can actually see that you have all the meat still there. It hasn't been packed and everything like that. What this does is I find is it makes for a juicier burger, a burger that falls apart when people eat them, things like that. Like, they're really good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to prep some other stuff, get everything ready to go, and then we're going to throw these on the grill. Going to grill these really quickly. They don't take that long. We'll prep it, we'll get it ready. We'll add some of our seasoning on top of it while we grill it. And then we'll make up a burger, and I'll show you guys again how simple it is to make a really good burger at home. We got the bacon ready for our burgers, and just a fun little thing. This was actually 2 pounds of bacon when I started cooking it, and my family has pretty much devoured most of it. So it was like from here to here. So make sure you keep enough and keep it away from everybody, so that way you can have some for your burgers. Okay, so basically what you do is after you got the burgers prepped, you throw them in the fridge, keep them cool. Then you got to prep everything else. So you're going to want to make sure you have all your condiments cut, everything like that. You want to be ready. You're going to have your buns cut if you have to cut them or whatever. And then you want to be ready when the burgers come off that you can put them on a bun, you can dress them, and you can move on. So back to the food prep part. Everybody likes their stuff different. Some people like full leaves of lettuce. Some people like different kinds of lettuce. I personally like my lettuce diced up really fine, so that way it all melts together on the bun really well. I also like my onions in rings, and I also like them in little bits. So I kind of do a combination of both. So what you can do is you can pull some lettuce off, roll it all up, and then just dice it up really fine. And that way, people have a choice on what they want when they're putting in the burgers, because I find I like the option. We're not going out to a burger joint that only does it a certain way. This is in our house. We're letting people make them. Like, I do make gourmet burgers as well, things like that, because I've tried it. You'll see in this YouTube page as time goes on. Basically, I'm just trying to show everybody that anybody can cook. You don't have to be a chef. You don't have to be all that to make great food at home. And that's what it's about. You shouldn't be intimidated by cooking. My background is not cooking. I don't do any of that. Like, I never took it in school or anything like that. I just always believe that anybody can do anything. And you shouldn't limit yourself. And you should always have faith in yourself to be able to do things. So anyways, dice up some lettuce so you got some of that. Obviously, we have a full thing. Same with the onions. So there's small rings that you can do. So you get little rings like that. That way people have a choice. You can have little rings like this, right? You can have them in there. I just throw them in there with the lettuce. If you're setting it up, this is me prepping just for my family. If this was me prepping for people coming over, I'd separate them because everybody has different tastes. Some people don't like things crossing, touching each, so I'd spread them out on a plate, separate them, and then do that. And then for the next batch, again, to dice them up about the same size, take them over. The way I do it is I just go like this, drop them down, spin the ends on the side. That's it, just try and get them all. And that's the way I like them. And again, I don't mind if there's a little bit of lettuce in there or anything like that, because I like lettuce on my burgers. And that's how you prep those two items. And the rest are pretty simple. You can buy the pickles already done. You can buy the pickles diced. You can dice them yourself. Just grab a pickle out, slice it up. I buy sliced pickles because my wife seems to like those better. So we buy those. And that's it. So I'll get everything together. We'll cook the burgers just before we're going to bring them out and have it all set up, and I'll show you what the burger looks like. I'll show you how we're cooking it and everything like that. So we'll get to that right now. Okay, so we're ready to put our burgers on the grill now. So we got them all done up. I got them all here. So you're just going to take them out. You're going to have your grill nice and hot, and you're going to start placing the patties down. The thing about it is you're not going to want to flip them. You're just going to want to place them. So I'm going to do a lot of patties today because I did up a bunch of burgers, and we're just going to cook them all up so we have them. So as you can see, there's not a lot going on. We're just throwing the burgers on. I haven't put any of the seasoning on yet, which we're going to do that in a second as soon as I get all the patties down. And so I'll season each side of them as I flip them. So they're all down now, and so we're just going to put some seasoning on. Okay, so this is just my seasoning. You guys can use salt, pepper, whatever you want. And all I do is just shake a little bit on them. Just cover them up. Just get a little bit on them. And all it does is just add a little bit of flavor to the outside of it. And this seasoning I use just has a little bit of dill, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of chili powder, paprika, things like that. It's just enough, so it doesn't have to be crazy, anything, just kind of cover them a bit. Again, this is how you season them. If you don't like them seasoned, don't. If you want to put stuff in it, but I find this is going to give you the best patty. So you want to have them packed a little bit, And that's it. You don't want to overpack them and you don't want to overcook them. So now the grill was on high when I turned on. So I'm just going to turn it down a little bit. Right? And what you're looking for is you're going to look for the meat on the edges to start looking cooked. Once you get it to that point, then you can flip them. But until then, you can't flip it. And obviously, on this grill of mine, the patties at the front, or burgers here, they don't cook as fast as the ones at the back because it's a lot hotter, hot spot in the back. So it's I got some hot spots in the back, so I end up rotating mine. But minimize the amount of time you're going to want to do it. So you can either use tongs or I use a spatula. It all depends on you, on how you want to do it. And that's it. So once they're ready to flip, we'll start flipping them. But for now, we're just going to leave this probably about 2 more minutes, and then we're going to flip them. Okay, so I'm kind of moving them around a little bit, just kind of making sure they don't stick. But that's it. I'm not flipping them up. I'm just making sure they don't stick. Usually what happens is after they get cooked to a certain point, they'll usually loosen up. But again, this is just the way I do it. Move them over a little bit. I got some nice marks on them already. I'm trying to move the back ones in a little bit. Move that one up there. Again, I might move this one over here. Just trying to get them going, but I'm still kind of cooking on the one side. And then usually what I would do too is I'd close the lid a little bit and things like that. But that's kind of the way I do it. The ones at the back are coming along really nicely. They're getting a little more cooked than the rest. So if you want, again, not ready to flip, but you can take them. You can move the ones at the back to the front, the one at the front to the back, right? Just to help them along so they're all kind of going to be ready at the same time. And the ones that will be ready first, you just put on the top rack, and you can even take them off a little bit sooner than the ones that are done. The ones that aren't done. The reason being is they'll still cook up here, but you just want to do that. And they'll also cook a lot quicker if you put the lid down as well. The only thing about doing that, if I put the lid down, you guys can't see it in the video. So again, I'm still moving them around a bit. I take the ones that are a little more cooked and move them up to the front, move them to the back. Same here, this one's looking a little more cooked than the front one, so I'll move it to the back, move it up there, so forth and so on. These ones on the side, trying to get them in a little more. And we're almost at to the point now where we're going to start flipping them. As you can see, they're kind of starting to cook around the sides. They look good underneath. You can see all they're seared. But you still want to get it nice, a little crispy around the side, so that way you're only flipping them once. And some will look a little more overdone than other ones. And you just kind of leave that one off the side, move it to a cooler spot until you're ready. If you start flipping them at different times, then it's a lot harder to keep track of them all. And you can start moving them around to where they are. Right now, at this point, they already got the sear mark on the one side that you're going to want. And that's the side you can put a presentation up. Okay, so these are pretty much done. So now we're going to flip them all. So we're going to flip each one. And again, you can use a spatula, you can use tongs. And now what we're going to do, we're going to season them again. And that's about the last flip we're going to do. So after this point, we're going to leave it. We might flip them again, depends. If the seasoning I put on doesn't seem to be getting melted in from the greases and things like that, I'll flip them again. But you just put a light amount of it on, however you want to do it. And again, you don't even have to do it this way. If you don't want to season your burger like this, by all means don't. But to make the best burgers, you're going to do something to it. You're going to add a little bit of flavor one way or another, whether you're putting it in or not. The only problem I have with blending it inside a burger is that when you overwork a burger, you make it tough. And that's the issue I always had trying to figure out how to make burgers, why my burgers were tougher. Also, the thicker you make a patty, the tougher a burger will be too, if you work it. So as you can see, they're starting to come. There's a little bit of blood coming out of them. And you're going to be cooking it till it's like 100 and 60 degrees inside. But again, you know the way it is. You know your burgers and how you want them, how you like them done. The other thing you can do is, if you like, is you can use a meat probe. There's nothing wrong with using the meat probe when cooking. You actually probably get some of your best results, I find, with a meat probe. Unless you're like a chef and you're like perfect and you can do like a, you know, a steak, you know how, you know the firmness of it by like the inner part of your thumb, and you can tell how well cooked a steak is. I don't cook everything consistently enough. I don't make steaks every day, so I can't check that way. I use a meat thermometer quite a bit to make sure that I'm not overcooking my meat is really what it comes down to. So you can use this on here. You can stick it in the side of the patty. You can check the temperature, right? And make sure it's up to a temperature you want. Right, so right now they're at 143 Fahrenheit, right? So they're not quite there, but you can tell just by like there's still blood coming out. People in different places eat their meats differently. Some people eat medium, which is approximately, I think it's around 155. Not 100% sure on that one. So these are pretty close to that. So now they're kind of coming along. You can see some of the ones in the back. The juices are a little red. The underside of the patties, they don't look the same as the top, and which is fine, right? Because this is the side we're going to be presenting. So we're going to present these sides up, right? So all these, I'm just going to give them one more little flip, because you can see all the spices and everything I put on haven't kind of got sopped up with the grease. So I'm just going to flip them over one more time, and then we're going to be pulling these off. And at this last flip, right? Like, and you don't always have to do this, but for me, I want this one more flip because I don't want those spices sitting out there like that and not being covered in some grease. And again, this is making the perfect burger for yourself, right? So these are pretty much done. So what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna leave it a sec, go grab a plate, and then we're gonna plate them all. Give it a quick check with the meat thermometer on one. There you go. So these are already up to temperature. So it is like a medium to medium well burger. Flip them back to the other side, because this is the side that's going to be up on the plate. This is your nice char mark side. This is the side that looks good. This is the side that you want everybody to see. Wait, so all these burgers are done. So we'll start plating the burgers. And if we were outside and we were having a barbecue, I'd be throwing them on buns right now. And people would be putting their condiments on and doing what they want. But we're gonna finish this off inside. Okay, so let's head in. Okay, so we're gonna put them together. So we got our burgers now. We'll put those down. I got some buns up here. I got one already toasted. And so for the first burger we're gonna make, I brought you guys in a little closer so you can kind of see a little better. We're gonna make a Baconator because that's what my daughter likes. So that's the first thing we're doing here. So we're gonna get a fork. We're gonna bring over one of our patties. We're gonna put that on there. Grab a good one, put that on the bottom. And then so she likes processed cheese, a couple pieces of bacon. And then so another patty. Hot juicy patty there. Another piece of cheese. And so when you're making your burgers and you're having people over and doing stuff, you're gonna do it however you like or however they like. You can put more bacon on this, but I just think that's getting a little ridiculous. And then so for a Baconator, it includes mayo, top. It includes mayo and ketchup. And that's pretty much all it is for a Baconator. I kind of ran out of there. clean that up a little bit. As you know, nothing ever goes as planned. So that's it, and that's a Baconator. So what you can do too, stick a little toothpick in it. There you go. And that's a Baconator. And that's how you make it, an amazing burger. I'm gonna give it a shot, see what it's like, and hopefully not tick her off too much. But I would say that looks like a good burger. Okay, hope this helps you out making really good burgers at home, and enjoy. Okay, so she didn't come out and get it right away, so I had to have a bite. This is a pretty freaking good burger. I hope you guys enjoy it.